Hey friends, it's Rachel. Welcome back to Grown Up Green. This week we are gonna harvest some sweet potatoes. Maybe you saw my video a few months ago where I planted these sweet potatoes and a later one where I showed you their progress. Now it is time for the sweet potatoes to come out of the ground and get ready to be eaten. So you can see right here, here's my sweet potato bed. And these vines grew from a teeny little stem with just a leaf or two into huge vines that covered this whole 14-foot bed. Let me show you what they look like up close. They are no longer quite as beautiful and lush as they once were. That is because it has started to get chilly here, and sweet potatoes do not like the cold. So some of their leaves have started to die and turn brown. This means it is time to harvest, especially because we're gonna get a proper frost tonight, and that might damage the tubers underneath the soil. Here are the tools I'm gonna be using to help me dig up my sweet potato today. I have a big, wide pitchfork that I'll use to loosen the soil so it'll be easier to find the sweet potatoes. Here's my favorite digging tool to dig around and find the sweet potatoes and get them out of the ground. I've got a trusty pair of pruners just in case I want to clip the vines off. And a bucket to hold the sweet potatoes I hope are hiding under the soil. Let's get started and see what we can find. I want to be very careful as I dig around for these sweet potatoes because they have thin skin, and if I cut them by accident, they might rot before I have a chance to eat them. And here I'm lifting it up and loosening up the soil. Here you can see my first sweet potato. It is not terribly big, but sometimes the small ones have the best flavor and texture. So I'm still excited. Let's see what else we can find. I love my digging tools, but I'm finding it a little bit more fun to just dig in the dirt with my hands. So far, not too many sweet potatoes. Whoa! Look at that beauty! That is a good looking sweet potato. You might remember that when I planted these, I planted two different types. I planted a purple-skinned Japanese variety of sweet potato and a classic orange variety. The Japanese one has white flesh on the inside. They tend to be a bit more starchy, but just as delicious. Have you ever tried a Japanese sweet potato? You might see some at your local grocery store or farmer's market, so check them out. I found my first bunch of the orange sweet potatoes, and look how many there are just coming from this one stem. Pretty amazing. It's fun to contrast the color of these too to the color of the Japanese sweet potatoes. Both are beautiful, but it seems like maybe the orange type grew a little bit better. These roots I would have expected to be nice, thick sweet potatoes by now. But these ones are looking pretty good. You can see down here at the end of my bed, these vines have grown all the way outside of it. And there's actually some potatoes in here. Look at that. There's another one. Well, my friends, we are at the end of the bed, and look at this last beautiful sweet potato. While I was going through, I found some other things too. This tomato plant that got hidden. Here's some more gorgeous sweet potatoes, and one of my honey nut squashes. A honey nut is a type of miniature butternut. I found another one too, but somebody took some nibbles out of it. Let's see how many potatoes we ended up with. We have got a beautiful bucket full. Now it's time to put these babies in a humid, warm spot and let them cure for a couple weeks. That is what makes them taste extra sweet. Well, my friends, thank you so much for joining me on my sweet potato harvesting adventure. This was my first time growing sweet potatoes in my own garden, and I had so much fun sharing it with you over the summer. Let me know if you grew anything for the first time this summer. Maybe you can start planning for next year's garden right now. I'll see you next week. Bye.